Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Massimo here. If you're new and you don't know, I help entrepreneurs like you build successful publishing business on Amazon KDP. This is what we're talking about. Today's video absolutely crucial. It's probably one of the most important video I ever done, and I mean it. And the reason being, when you start publishing your journey, you want to make sure you don't waste too much time. And this is going to be important for you, either if you are new or if you just started, or even if you are a seasoned KDP publisher, let's say. So before we dive deep into the content, let me tell you why this is so important. Every single week I get messages from people and publisher that they lost their accounts or they wasted thousands of dollars on ads and they're stuck now with books that they don't sell for some reason. And I almost always is because they ventured into one of these dangerous niches. I'm about to show you now anyway these niches, but if you want to avoid these expensive mistakes really and protect your publishing business, make sure to watch this video until the end, because there's going to be some golden nugget all the way until the end. Also, smash the like button and hit the subscribe if you want more content like this. Can help your business or can help building a sustainable business on KDP anyway. So we try to post new videos now every week at least, or even more often if it's possible. So we're gonna watch some strategies that work actually in 2025. So let's start from here. Niches to avoid on Amazon KDP. First thing first, Trademarked book. So that is probably the biggest trap on Amazon KDP at the moment. Now, I exactly know what you're thinking. You go on Amazon, search for books with famous character or brands and see these incredible numbers and with very low BSR, like 20,000, and they're selling maybe, I don't know, 10, 20 copies a day, and the price is $14.99. It looks like a gold mine, right? Well, let me share with you a couple of real stories that will change your mind onto this subject. Now, first, let's say this guy is called Mike. I'm just going to change the name, but it's somebody that we know, and his name is Mike. I'm not going to say it's one of my students or if it's a person that I know. Let's say Mike had built this is a true story though, had built a fantastic publishing business over the last 2 years, and he had something like 67 books published, making around $4,000 per month consistently. So then he decided to publish just one book featuring one of these, featuring basically a popular cartoon character. He thought, it's just one book, what could go wrong? 2 weeks later, bam, account banned. All 67 books are gone. So that rings the bell. First of all, that should tell you something about don't put all your eggs into one basket only. But apart from that, 2 years of work vanished. And that's the worst part. Amazon didn't just ban the account, they banned his wife's account too. And they can never return to publish on KDP again. Think about that. A lifetime ban from a growing passive income stream. What does he have to do now? So let me show you a little bit what I mean. So let's have a quick look. So he was doing, this is an example. I'm not saying this is Mike, but this is what it could be. Something similar. I scrolled quickly on the Amazon search bar, and this is exactly what's happening. Look, I'm not saying this guy. I'm not talking about this guy. I'm just saying, I'll give you an example. Flintstone Framework. Look at this book. This is an independent publisher. Yep. And it's risky, guys. That's what I'm trying to say. It is risky. And the reason it's risky is for the reason I just gave you. So, Trademark, although very profitable, they are dangerous to publish. Better stay away. Second story I give you. It's about a publisher who tried to be clever. She changed the character name slightly and used a different artwork. Guess what? The trademark owner lawyers found out the book anyway. And she ended up with a cease and desist letter and had to pay $5,000 in legal fees. Now there's the third case. I said I was going to give you 3 examples. A publishing team that specializes in targeting abandoned trademarks. They spent thousands on lawyer fees researching all trademarks. They thought they weren't active anymore. They built a whole business around this. You know what I'm talking about. There's special categories that the band of trademarks you think can make some money on that. One day they discovered that one of these abandoned trademarks had been quietly renewed. and their entire business model collapsed overnight. Bottom line, there is no safe way to publish trademark books. You don't want to do it. Avoid. Do you know what I mean? Don't try to be clever out of it. Don't think, oh, I can fly under the radar. They're not going to see it. The risk is never worth the reward. So that's the first one. I got about 6 categories that I want to give you. So just make sure you stick with me. Second one is low content with low price. Books. This niche is killing publisher profits. You know what I'm talking about. Those simple notebooks, journals, and planners that they price under $6.99, $7.99. Let me break down exactly why this business model is dead in 2025. Actually, first, let me do some math. I'm going to share my screen and do some actual number. Let's have a look. Right, so if we go back here, this should be the example I got open. Yes. See this? Swiss composition notebook. So here, let's do some calculation. This guy has got 26,000 RPM, 500. Pretty good, is it? 26,500. So if we go here to Amazon, so you can use it. My computer is a little bit slow, sorry about that. So 26,500. If I go, actually, we're going to use this website to calculate. This is trademark, sorry, nothing to do with that. Apologize. I just got to add these pages open, and there you go. So 26,500. It's a paperback on Amazon. So what did that give me? Is this working? 8 books per day. Is that right? Let's see. Change this number. 8 books per day. So according to, this is obviously a rough figure, but 8 books per day. Let's say that notebook is selling 8 books per day. Keep that in mind. So 8 books per day, and it's selling at $6.99, and it's got 110 pages. So if we go here, 110 pages, $6.99. Let's have a look at the actual 7.5 by 925. So 7.5 by 925 is this one here. Bosh. Submit. Right, so done. That's the figure. That's the estimate royalty that this guy is doing. $1.32 per book. This is the estimate dollar. So 132, pretty simple. If we do some simple math here. So 132, it does 132. So we said he's selling about 8 books a day. So that's going to be 1056. And if we multiply that for 30, it's making about $306. Well, that's not too bad, you would say. I agree. This is like net. So it's net profit. I understand. So which is you thinking, well, it might didn't take long, but how many of these books it needs to do to get some sustainable income? Like also this $316. Let me just tell you something. We don't know how much he is paying for ads. I don't know what kind of ads campaign he's got, but the average cost per click on Amazon ads is about $130 to $180. And the average conversion rate for notebooks is about 2 to 3%. Do you know what? So the number of clicks they needed for one sale is about 30, 40, 50 clicks. Total ads per sale, then how much is it going to be? It's going to be an order of $40. So you see the problem here? They're losing money. It's a losing money on every single sale, almost. Let's say that figure that you've seen before was without ads. So you're not going to get those figures organic. So I don't know. It's how back in 2020, let me explain why. Some people say, oh, I see publisher that they're making money for that. Let me explain why is that probably not true. So back in 2020, you could get a click for 30 cents, not 0.30 cents. The market wasn't saturated. You could actually make money selling low book contents at low price. But today, the landscape has changed. I recently analyzed about 100 low content publishers in my mastermind group, and do you know what I found? 92 of them were losing money. 92, believe it or not. So the only one that makes money still had either built their business years ago and now they have an organic sell out of it, or they are using the low price book as a loss leaders, just like that, or they sell it in a very specific niches that they're on top with minimal competition, which is again, it's pretty hard to do. if you need to do a lot of researches and things like this. So book price under $12, $13 are not great. It's completely different word from a full content. It's not worth with the current ads cost, 100%. And better to focus on content books price at least $14, $15. Oh, this is actually our third categories that I was talking about. Bosh! Let's create some distance. We all go on to the next one, actually. Books requiring coloring images. Yep. So basically books that requiring color printing. This is one particularly tricky because this book often looks amazing in the listing. And plant guides, cookbooks, art books, they all look fantastic in the preview. But let me show you the brutal reality of color printing costs. I'm going to pull up KDP printing cost calculator now. Let's have a look. If I go back here, let's take this book. I opened them before. Oh, sorry. Well, actually, let's go here. Very simply, we can do that. Let's just use the previous example, but maybe we put 8 by 11, which is a more normal. This is the printing cost of Royal Calculator, black and white. Let's say 200 pages, 150 to 100 pages, let's say 170 pages. And we put $19.99. So if you got, so I didn't want to get an example from a book, but if you get any like cookbook, they are required to have some color images because otherwise you won't be nice, you won't be seeing nice, and I'll show you a bit later why. So here, normally a book of about 170 pages with 8 by 11, 8.5 by 11 at $19.99 gives you this royalty, $8.10. You see that? Sold at $19.99, you get a net, you know, roughly. This is a roughly figure. It depends also what you're spending on ads and everything, but it's going to be $8.10. Now, let me just change this one quickly to standard, not even premium, standard color interior with white paper. Look at this. Remember this figure, 8.10? Bosh, 3.85. You see that? So there's no really much that you can do. You're not going to make much of a sale with that amount of... So you want to try to stay away from color books. Definitely. I'm not saying that you can't profit, but there is a problem with that. And I would say there is even a bigger problem, which is so the problem that you got there is the printing cost is too high to be profitable. And some of the cookbooks, if you don't do that, if you don't put, they give you bad reviews. If you don't put colors, let me show you. That's why I had this page open. So if I go here, 1 star, this is a cookbook for beginners. Look at this. 0 point. Have a look, read the review. That's why your market research is very good. Should not be 0, very page pages. So let's go here. Wait. Okay, photos. No color photos. Like the recipes, but the layout is awful. It was all black and white and there's no color. There you go. This book is in black and white. There are very few pictures and the mirrors, and they have no colors. Can you see that? There is no point. 0 point. Let's just see. White. Returning this book. I was excited to get this one. Not the cookbook I'm looking for. There you go. So this is guys say total waste of money. So this is just to give you an idea. If you're going to print off books that they're in black and white, where it should be in a category where you should have color, that's not great. And if you print them in color, you're not going to take much royalty at home. So it's too high to be profitable. Right. So let me just move on to the next one, which is interesting as well. Books about medicine and drugs. Example, books about Viagra and amoxicillin. I'll just going to show it to you in a minute, but the fourth niche is to avoid because it's interesting because if you look at the numbers, they're absolutely incredible. Let me show you some BSR of these. So if I go here and I'm talking about Viagra, look at this, Bosch. Look at this one here. Let's have a look at BSR. Probably this is not the one that I'm looking for. I opened this page for a different reason, but let me show you why. I just want to see the BSR. Where is the BSR here? BSR 7,200. It's here. You can watch it on the. So this has got a very high BSR, is it? So you're thinking, wow, that's incredible. And that's the estimate revenue. Take this number lightly because they never really correct it. We got more interesting tools. One day I'm going to do a video about it, actually, about the tools that I'm using. But nonetheless, 7,200. It's a very good one. So you'd be thinking, wow, why should I avoid this? You should avoid this because, is it like this one? Let me just put here, Viagra, and go here. There's a lot of books. So people, for this, they might go, on Amazon, they're selling everything. Do you know what I mean? But because they're selling everything, people go on Amazon and they just put in what they want to buy. So a lot of people, they want to buy Viagra, and they're gonna click and on Amazon and put Viagra. Look at this, 5,000. So they see these pictures and they thinking that all these are actually tablets of Viagra for sale for $13 or so. It's an easy. So they're gonna order one of these, and then they're gonna get a book. And they're thinking, oh, Jesus, I didn't order a book because they didn't read properly. Here it says Viagra Guide. You see this? Viagra Men's Guide. Do you know what I mean? Even if this is on books, I understand. Let me just put it on general. So all departments. If I put Viagra on all departments, bosh. So you have some Viagra stuff, but you also have some books here. Do you know what I mean? There is Viagra. This is on the first page. There you go. This one here. So people buy this one, is thinking, whoa, $7.99 a Viagra. A box with 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. I'll get it. You know, majority of people, this is what they do. And then they find out the hard way that this is not Viagra, but they didn't read that Viagra Men's Guide, and it's a book. That's why they sell in yes, but they got 2.6 review. And let me show you some of these reviews. These are funny if you read it. So, was not expected. Guess they got me on this one. You see, this one didn't expect to be a guide. Yep, right. So a lot of people, they just put, it's a fraud. This is in French, no, or Spanish. It's a fraud. You know what I mean? So that is, do not publish something that I did a research in the past also for amoxicillin, and this is same thing. People go onto the website and they put amoxicillin, whole thing. Even if it's profitable, they often deceive the customer, confuse them with actual drugs. And the risk of banning, Amazon is actively removing these books and banning account that publish them. It's not just about losing your account. You could face legal issue too. So the reviews, you can see that from confused people. And let's face it, if somebody buys some Viagra online and they receive a book, they're not going to leave a review with their name, say, oh, I wanted to buy Viagra. But still, you're going to get a 1-star review. So, yep. Let's move on to the next one. Books that are too long. So our fifth dangerous niche is the book that requires excessive length. I'm talking about those 500, even 600 books. Some of the publishers are putting out. So let me explain why this is a losing strategy. Well, first of all, look at the printing cost. So, shall I go there? Shall I go to the printing cost? Imagine you got a book that is even, this is the page count. Can you see this one? Let's say you put it even at $30, and I put 8511 by 500 pages. Done. This price must be between 36 and, it doesn't even get any, so let's say $45. Oh, I was not expecting that. With $45 price tag, 500 pages, you get $5 royalty. $5. Would you want to talk about it? So that's not a great conversion rate, I believe. It's not particularly great. Now, let me tell you a little bit more why also. Beyond that, higher return rates due to the price, obviously we just mentioned it, and there's lower conversion rate. And also, there is much higher proofreading and editing cost. Imagine you have to do a book of 500 pages. It's going to take you way longer than do a normal book, between 100, 150 pages, 200 maybe. You want to stay into that 100 and 150 pages, maximum 200 anyway. So the proofreading, if you do a book that you want to proofread, it's going to be way longer. It's going to be longer production time and more complex quality control. So it's a no. I suggest you not to get into that. Now let's move on. Borderline or illegal. So this is the last niches, guys. Some people, they're thinking that this is books about marijuana, which is legal only in some of the states. Explicit contents, gray area, medical advice, or psychedelic mushroom, erotic contents. Erotic contents, man. These books cannot be advertised for ads, first of all. I'm pretty sure that you cannot. If you go on Amazon, there is some books that you can see all sorts of things, and you're thinking, Jesus. Some of them are really. So we had a look at the Viagra here, but which is, look at this. If you put erotics on books, you got all sorts of things. And guess what? They selling. Yeah, they're gonna sell very well. This is just an example. You can find all sorts of things, but the thing is, again, you might not be able to use your ads on it. And also, Amazon is always on the look for, you got the risk of blocking if the content is too explicit, if you know what I mean. If you put pictures, and it is a very risky category. So my suggestion is stay away from it big time. So this is what I wouldn't do it. If we wrap this up now, I would say instead of the risky niches, you should focus on something that is the opposite of this. So you need to do your buyer research, and you do your buyer analysis, persona, market researches. If you do this one nice and strong at the beginning, your life will get easier and easier. So this is the main step of your, if you want to find keywords and niches. So you want to spend a lot of time doing that. You want to spend a lot of time and make sure that you got a solid foundation at the beginning, and then you're gonna be safer. And the more time you put into your research, genuinely, all the other steps will get easier anyway. So that's it for today. So you got those 6 categories that I would stay away from it. So this is going to be good for you if you just started, or even if you're a seasoned KDP publisher, you probably know this already. But sometimes people, if you got a book that is one of these categories and you're asking yourself, well, it's not selling, I'm not making money, this is probably the reason why. So don't forget to give a thumbs up, guy, if you find it helpful, and leave a comment. Let me know what other KDP topics you want me to cover. Hit the like and subscribe, hit the notification bell to stay updated with more content like this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.